Hi everybody, Andreas and Maria here in quarantine in Kiev. We have been asked by Biotexcom to describe a little around the process of getting to Kiev in these times with documentation and flights.
Yes, how we got here, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know a lot of you are sitting at home with the same anxiety and worries that we had a couple of days ago, panicking about how to get here before our children are born. We finally got here on Monday.
Yeah.
Today's Tuesday. No,
Thursday.
Thursday. Sorry.
Quarantine.
Yeah. Yeah, we will describe how we got here. And as many of you, we were thinking about going via Minsk, taking a plane to Minsk and try to drive the rest of the way, but it's not an easy process. And we also tried to see if we could use a private plane. Expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah, but what do you do? But it seemed like we would take a big risk with having to pay for the plane without getting permission to come here. So we put that idea aside.
Yeah, we put that aside.
And then last Sunday, like almost 2 weeks ago, friends of ours appeared on Swedish national news,
Yeah.
talking about our problems.
Yeah, the
getting to
difficulties in getting to Kiev
Yeah.
in these difficult times.
Yes.
And just describing the horrific circumstances and not being able to get down to the child's birth.
Yeah. And something extraordinary happened. Just like 30 minutes after that segment had been shown on the news, our friends that appeared on the news, they got a call from
From their lawyer.
From an airline.
Yeah, yeah.
The airlines told them that there was an anonymous sponsor that wanted to pay for our flight down to Kiev. Incredible.
Yes.
And we were, I can't even explain how that felt, I'm sure you can imagine. But we didn't know if it was possible to make it come true. So we started to get the work done, to get permissions, and it's like 2 things that we had to get done.
Yeah.
The first was that we needed permission to enter from the MFA, and the second was that the plane had to get permission to land.
Yeah. Landing permit.
Yeah, and the part that we could be a part of was the contact with our embassy, Swedish embassy, to get the permission from MFA. So that's what we did.
Yeah.
And it took us quite a few days to understand what kind of documentation we had to provide them with. But in the end, it's a lot of paper, but it's not that difficult. It's a statement from Biotex, in our case, invitation letter stating that we have gone through surrogacy, we are expecting twins and dates for the fertilization and so on. So this invitation letter. After that, we need an invitation letter from the place where we do our quarantine, the hotel. That's approved by the government for doing quarantine, so that's where we are now. Statement from them that we are welcome, and a booking reference that we have booked the room here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So invitation from Biotex, invitation from the hotel, and the booking reference. And also we needed to sign agreement to undergo quarantine. So that's the documentation that we sent to our embassy, and they sent it to MFA. And after that, it was quite a fast handling. It took like 1 day, and we got the permission to enter Ukraine. It looks like this, just a piece of paper stating our name and name and birth date, and the passport number, what day we're supposed to enter, which border, and which plane. So it took us a few days to understand what we needed to send, but once we got a hold of that, it was quite an easy process and didn't take a lot of time.
No.
But we got a lot of great help from our embassy. The other part was to get the permission to land for the airline, and that was a whole different story.
Yeah, that was.
That was crazy.
That was a bit messy.
Yeah.
To say the least.
It was like a game of cat and mouse for over a week. They thought they just needed one more approval from one more authority, but there was always a new authority, a new approval, and the days just keep going, and we never got the approval. And
no, I think that we had that cat and mouse game for about a week.
Yeah.
And then we kind of gave up on the idea.
We did give up.
Yeah, we did give up because we didn't think that it would result in us taking this private plane.
Yeah, so we actually bought tickets for the SkyUp flight that was supposed to go from Stockholm this Tuesday. And we told the private airline that we have to give up this ID, we have to try to take the SkyUp plane, but thank you very much for trying to help us. And then it was just like 1 hour after
1
that.
hour. 1 hour after we gave up our private plane
They
plans.
called us and said, you have to get here now, we have gotten the permission, we can fly today. So we just jumped in a taxi and drove to the
the airport.
And we took off. And we have no idea what was needed to done to get their permission. We were not a part of that process, so we're sorry, but we cannot not help you with any information about that.
Mm.
I don't know if I would recommend this way to get here. It was horrific to go back and forth with hope and devastation for a week. Every day we thought we would go, no we wouldn't, then we thought it would go, no it wouldn't, back and forth. But we got here, and that's the most...
Yeah, that's the main part.
And so now we're here in quarantine, day 3. And to be honest, it's like spa for our brains. We've been so tired, it's been such a hard fight trying to find a way to get here with a lot of stress, anxiety, searching for information, contacts. Our brains are really tired.
Yeah, the thing is that, we have a lot of going on in our minds.
Yeah, as you do.
As you do. And then getting this corona pandemic in the mix is not really...
It's not human.
It's not human. It's not really... how do you say... it's not helping the situation.
No, it's not helping.
So...
but we hope that we can somehow help you with understanding the process that we got through, what we needed to provide our embassy with, and once we had provided them with the documents, it was quite an easy process to obtain the permission from the MFA to get to enter the country. However, that doesn't help if you have no way to get here.
No.
But we have seen now that there are more flights this week, both from SkyUp and from Ukrainian International Airlines. So we hope that you will get the support you need from your embassy that's necessary to obtain the permission. and we hope that you will be able to fly here with commercial airlines.
Yeah, I think that we should maybe inform about the inresetillståndet man bara kan ha en.
Yeah, one problem was that you can only get permission to enter Ukraine for the MFA for 1 day, one trip, which made it difficult for us when our trip was postponed all the time. So we had to every day get a new application and
so you cannot have two applications at the same time. You have to apply one time and then you have to apply again.
Yeah, if the trip changes.
Yeah, if the trip changes.
So we had to do this application to the MFA a lot of times during this week of waiting, and but I think they were fairly good with that. Yeah, we got them pretty fast when we needed a new date for when the flight was postponed every day. So I think that's not the hard part. You will manage that. As soon as you have the invitation letter from your clinic and invitation letter and booking reference from where you're going to stay during quarantine, and you sign the agreement to do quarantine, that's what you need. And from our experience, that was kind of an easy process.
Yeah.
If you get help from your embassy. And the quarantine, it's a different situation to be locked up. As many of you know, in Sweden we didn't get this kind of restrictions, so we have been able to move outside during this whole corona situation.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks, it's nothing. I can sit here. I'm in Kiev. Our babies, we're expecting twins. They are not born yet, and hopefully we will get through this quarantine before the babies are born.
Yeah.
And the hotel is great. They are trying their best to make our stay as good as it can be.
As pleasant as possible.
The food is different from at home, so that's a bit of a challenge, but it could be worse. We're here. That's the most important thing. We have a balcony so we can go outside. It's a lovely garden outside. We have nothing to complain about. We're so happy we're here, and we hope that this video might help you get your encouragement up and see that it's possible. We could get here, you can get here, and we keep our fingers crossed for you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.